NAR India's 7th Annual Convention 2015 commenced in India's Silicon Valley and brought together some of the biggest names of the Indian and international real estate industry to deliberate on vital issues concerning their sector.
The customer will come to us, which has representation from around the world, beneficial to both the builders as well as the...
Bangalore has always been a team leader in the growth story of India. It's been on the forefront of the information technology sector, the BPO, you name it, we've been there. And if you see the construction and the quality of construction that's happening in Bangalore, and for the price that you're getting this, it's fabulous, it's cheap, it's throwaway. Where can you get this quality of construction at this price? This is the most affordable market in the whole of India. Each developer is trying to outdo the other with the goodies that he can offer to the consumer. And each consumer is benefiting. If somebody is offering a pool, the next guy says, I'm going to give you a pool and an indoor pool.
NAR India is not only a single national level umbrella organization representing the interests of thousands of realtors and brokers operating all over the country, but also an organization which aims to elevate the standards of practice of the real estate brokerage business to a global level.
When you leave these halls, the fact that the environment here today...
The convention is one of the biggest realty congregations in India, which witnessed participation of over 1,200 delegates from across India and overseas, including a rich mix of realtors, developers, architects, lawyers, investors, venture capital firms, equity funds, real estate professionals, corporate real estate heads, project and facility managers, property valuers, chartered accountants, financial institutions, and others related to the real estate industry.
This convention is going to raise and elevate the standards of practice of good governance, ethics, transparency, accountability will prevail with the realtor community.
The opening ceremony was graced by the Honorable Chief Minister of Karnataka, Shri Siddaramaiah, marking the beginning of the two-day event, which was packed with engaging and enlightening activities such as educational programs, expositions, panel discussions, brainstorming sessions, cultural activities and much more, culminating in a gala closing event.
Real estate sector is the country's second largest employer after agriculture, and is slated to grow at more than 20% over the next decades, comprising housing, retail, hospitality and commercial. The sector has emerged as the second most active sector, attracting private equity investors in the last 10 months. Bengaluru has been the fastest growing city of India. Since the past few decades, information technology has been the major growth driver and is responsible for aggressive real estate development in the city.
Coming up, an overview of the exciting range of activities, speaker sessions and panel discussions that took place on day one of the NAR India's 7th Annual Convention. The NAR India Convention saw an overwhelming participation from the bigwigs of the Indian and international real estate sector.
It's like having your own personal...
We can actually make a huge movement. We always have one thing at the back of our mind.
The first day of the convention kick-started with a discussion on the most critical issue in the current real estate scenario, the Real Estate Regulatory Bill.
What would be the impact on people who have registered with the regulatory authority?
First and foremost, I think the bill is a welcome change to bring about fair business practices. I think we've always been self-regulated. We've always practiced self-regulation. Second thing is, we're on air, but I'd like to say this. In India, licensing means a different thing. We all understand that licensing doesn't generally mean merits and you get a license to that. Most important from a perspective of a broker or a realtor If he defaults, he should be punished. But the criticism that I have on this to the government is, the broker makes 2% brokerage, and you would like to levy a penalty of, I think, 3 times or 5% for something that he's not responsible. We need to work on this and request the government to rework this, because with something like this, yes, you need some draconian laws to bring about transparency, but what is a broker's role?
If the industry should debate whether the real estate developers are also to be registered and a unique number is to be given to them, there you can have various categories of developers so that they can be helped to develop smaller houses, this and all that. That suggestion should come from the industry, and because that is one of the suggestions that the developers should be registered. There we have in similar in Companies Act, in various other things, we have different sizes of companies.
It means, but the most important turning point,
the transparency is going to help the.
See, real estate is already excessively regulated industry by local authorities and state government. Yes, there is no central law regulation is not there, and the RERA, Real Estate Regulation Act, is going to happen soon. Not that we are basically against it, but we are wary of one more regulation, one more window or door to pass through.
The real estate regulatory bill is under discussion. We've through CREDAI as a body, I myself personally have gone through the bill word to word. If regulation has to come, fine, it will help bring in discipline, but it will do 2 things. It's going to, for a short time, it's going to create a situation of shortage, because it's going to eliminate a lot of smaller players because they don't have the wherewithal to withstand the method that is envisaged in the bill.
Broadly, it's a good step in the right direction, but it just shouldn't become another bureaucratic hurdle, because then the prices won't go down, and neither will we see actually the real implementation of the intent that with which the RERA is getting formed.
The insightful panel discussion was followed by a session on international property measurement standards by David Faulkner, the Executive Director of Colliers International.
The IPMS coalition member organisations now is up to around 70 different bodies from across the globe, and it really is global. You've got North America, South America, Africa, Central Eastern Europe. Everybody's in there, so I would again encourage the Indian organisations to get involved. But of course it isn't just a government thing, and it's not just something for organisations and associations. It's something that you can do, because we also have a partner programme for commercial organisations. This can include developers, it can include corporate occupiers, it can include brokers, valuers. It doesn't matter how big or how small you are, you can sign up as a partner, and your only obligation basically is to promote the use of IPMS across the industry.
After the knowledgeable session on international property measurement standards, the next set of panelists ventured into a discussion about the situation of the Indian realty market, moderated by Shashank Jain, Partner Transaction Services and Leader Real Estate Deals, PwC India.
We're seeing a new wave of realtors. All the internet sites, the Makan.com, the Housing.com, etc. They are without doing possibly any business or getting any market share. They've got obnoxious valuations, if I may. Right? So, how is it that those realtors or brokers are able to sort of tap such large amount of funds and not our fellow colleagues sitting here who've sort of sweat it out, learned the hard way, done the brick and mortar way?
Well, they give you leads, and hence those platforms are theoretically very valuable, because You're going there for leads. It's not a person you're talking to, it's a platform you're talking to. And hence that can increase in value. It's not a person-centric business essentially.
Farooq, is that a real competition that you see?
How many people do you see in this room? Hall full. This is a big world. There's plenty for everybody here. So they're not competition. They add value to our business. And we don't see it as a threat. We see it as a way to improve ourselves and make sure that we give better service.
I feel India, with all the incentives and initiatives that the government is putting in place right now, in days to come, it should be a very booming real estate sector. It's the second largest sector in the country. Employs a lot of people, but more than that, I think it's great for the economy. It's great for employment.
The concluding session of the first day addressed the crucial subject of futuristic smart cities.
If you look at smart cities itself, the other angle of change that is happening, how many people are moving into cities around the globe currently, right? There is a study which says in India itself, there are roughly about 26 people moving every hour from rural areas into urban areas. Now that is an opportunity and a challenge both, right? It's a challenge for people who are living in those cities because there are a lot of international audiences here today. Every city today around the world is crumbling at the seams from an infrastructure perspective, right? How do you keep up pace with that kind of people moving in? But it's an opportunity for the real estate developers in the audience because you have a lot more work to do to try and accumulate or assimilate rather all of those people into the areas that we're talking about.
The second day of NAR India's 7th Annual Convention 2015 started with a panel discussion moderated by the Director of Silverline Realty, Bengaluru, Mr. Zahid Mahmood, which aimed to shed more light on acquiring and retaining customers in today's challenging times.
Ayub, can we take your thoughts on what you think about prospecting? How do you think we should go about it? And keeping in mind Bangalore market, which is so IT savvy, what do you think we should be doing?
Understanding the requirement of the customer is one thing. Retaining the customer is a total different ballgame altogether. So if you retain the customer, you are going to get repeat business from him. Small things like maintaining the property, managing the property, collecting the rents, depositing that in the bank, very small things which mean a lot to them. The customer wants that little bit extra. He wants that, and we need to go that mile. We have to go that little extra mile, which most of us don't want to do.
Our motto is simple. For us, customer is not customer. For us, they are family members. So we follow that simple philosophy of adding a family and keep growing the family and making them a family members and never lose contact with them.
I feel India, with all the incentives and initiatives that the government is putting in place right now, in days to come, it should be a very booming real estate sector. It's the second largest sector in the country. Employs a lot of people, but more than that, I think it's great for the economy. It's great for employment.
Coming up on the other side of the break, catch all the excitement and action of Day 2 of NAR India's 7th Annual Convention.
Periscope. Anybody here on Periscope?
The two-day annual convention of the National Association of Realtors India highlighted the significant aspects of the real estate industry in India. Day 2 of the convention saw a thought-provoking session by Harish Bijur, CEO Harish Bijur Consultants Inc. on how to build your brand.
You as a broker has a reputation in the minds of people. Your name, your individual name is a brand. Your individual name, the moment your name comes up in the market, people say, oh, Mr. Ramesh Sampath, Irvin Beckham. Wow, I want to meet Irvin Beckham. I want to meet Ramesh Sampath. Why? Because you have built your reputation. And that thought of yours is the brand in the person's mind who you go to meet. Prestige Constructions, Silver Line. If you really talk of names such as these, They are door openers most of the time. If on your visiting card, possibly they open doors. And that is the brand of the corporate you represent. On that, the symbol of NAR. Mr. Ramesh Sampath works for Silverline and is a member of NAR. Okay, 3 positive strokes. Different people, different thoughts of the same brand most of the time.
This riveting session was followed by a presentation by Katie Chandy, Partner Corporate Tax and Regulatory Services EY India on Real Estate Investment Trust.
Why is REIT so important and what is happening globally? REIT is important because it enables developers to deleverage their balance sheet. It enables a different pool of capital to come into the market and reduce dependence on banks. World over, there is a pool of capital that is available for investment in fixed income yielding assets. And as these REIT regulations get active in India or get activated in India, you will see many more, much more foreign institutional money flowing into the country.
The biggest thing for real estate developers is its acceptability to financiers, to banks and to other small parties. Historically, there hasn't been too much money flowing in through institutional means, and therefore the cost of capital has been very high. The Real Estate Investment Trust is a means to get a lot of institutional money into the sector. That has been on the cards in India for 8 to 10 years. 2014 the bill was passed, and in the next year or so you will see REITs, IPOs in India, which will lend a lot of liquidity to developers, which will make them, rotate their assets much faster.
This was followed by a session by John Mayfield, which focused on how the real estate industry is evolving by using new technologies.
Think about social media. Hootsuite is a way that you can manage your social media. You can literally, with Hootsuite, go in and you can post all of your social media interaction and put a date and a time so that you don't have to be in front of the computer doing social media. You could do this on one afternoon or evening, and all of those posts will go out at various dates and times. And what's important about that is people, your friends and connections, see you on social media, and that keeps your name out in front of everyone, but at the same time it frees you up to go do other things. So connecting is very important. Now, I want to share with you 2 highly popular social media activities in the United States. I'm sure they're active here in India as well. The first one that's getting a lot of buzz is called Periscope. Anybody hear of Periscope? Periscope is taking the real estate field by storm in the United States, and it's like having your own personal TV channel. So with Periscope, you say, come go with me as I show a piece of real estate in Missouri. And you could subscribe to my TV channel, and you could watch me as I'm doing various activities.
Technology is changing very fast. As a technology speaker and a real estate broker, it's interesting because I will see one product that's very exciting and people are embracing and using, and 6 months later there's a new piece of technology that comes along. I wanted to focus today with the convention, the NAR convention, on some tools that have been around for a while that really have helped me as a real estate broker save time and be more profitable and productive.
The curtains came down on this 2-day power-packed event with a gala closing ceremony. As the real estate sector in India is reinventing itself, the convention will definitely leave a mark on the participants.
It goes down to the leadership of any country and any organization to move things from where it is to another place. Probably these conventions are really important for others to interact, for the professionals in the industry to share experiences, to educate
and get people to the maturity level where the market needs for their practices, for their skills, to share those knowledge, awareness, getting international experience, exposure, opening up opportunities. And I think the leadership of the convention have really shown a great success doing so. And I think the next conventions will have more and more international presence, because it's the best and the ideal connection to coming to such a market.
I think it's a great event because for two reasons, apart from the fact that it's been greatly done. It gives a great platform for debate, and probably only when you debate will you get out the greatest aspect of the industry, and this probably will help the industry a lot.
Focus, ideate, innovate, enable.